I wanted to ask you, a little bit about your perspective on reparations and how, even like what you're doing, reclaiming your culture, going back home, how you see that as, maybe an answer for reparations.
Okay, that's a very good question, but the answer is a very good question, but it's a deep question, because even to talk about reparations, we have to kind of take a step back and see just how well trained we are on this side of the planet. So just like what I was just talking about, like even some aspects of education in learning what it means to be human. Every human has a father and a mother. Every human has grandparents. Every human has predecessors that therefore had ways of living, wisdom that they got from that way of living, and they could pass it down to their children. Who else would you pass it to? That's just what it means to be human. We're losing that more and more in the West. In the West, I always tell people I lecture to, or my students or initiates, that in the West, they really succeeded in making life for us so small. So that what we see of this life, that meant so many different things in that line of predecessors that we have, that line of forefathers, foremothers that we have, it meant so many different things. Now it just means some very basic things for us. Money, pleasure, material, technology,
fame, reputation,
and all of it is just based on what you can touch, what you can feel. It doesn't really go beyond that. Even the sectors in society that are supposed to go beyond that, like religion, what we call spirituality, in the West they don't go beyond that. Because if I just now think I'm going to call on something invisible just to wish for the money and the fame, then it didn't go beyond that. So that's the first thing. So if my world is made small and it's just about what I can see and what I can spend and what I can earn, then reparations has a place. Because I already am disregarding that line of ancestors, and I'm just facing life for what I can grab and what I can touch, what I can feel. But if I see that life is bigger than this, then the fact that the people that sacrificed, gave me life, passed life down to me, even went through a suffering I can't even imagine. Generations of being enslaved. I can't even imagine that. And before that, it was torture, just the process of coming over on the boat, being locked in a slave pen over there, not knowing what's happening to you next. All of that inside of me was passed down to me. And now you're going to equate that to, well, if you pay me, we'll wipe it clean.
We can forget about it.
We can forget about it because you owe me money.
Right.
But even that is so kind of a simple way of thinking, because that money with the faces of the people important in this nation that enslaved me is only valuable because you killed all of my ancestors, because you forced all of my ancestors to work for you. That's the only reason that paper and that ink has any value to anybody in the world, because of the blood that my ancestors shed for you to get rich. And now you want me to say, okay, they shed all of that blood, as long as I can get a piece, we'll act like it didn't happen. That to me is like, it's so shameful, it's almost sickening. But it's understandable when the world is like this. It's understandable when the ancestral traditions have been taken out, so you're no longer living to perpetuate the to perpetuate the life of your ancestors, to pass, to be a link between your ancestors and your descendants. When all of that is taken out, then it's like, why not? Why wouldn't I get as much as I can? Mm-hmm. But what we were talking about the other day is that if we take in a wider perspective, if at one point my line, my family was taken away from a place, you forced us to come over here, we worked for you, we made this place rich. If you want to try to repair it, the very least you can do is offer me a freeway back and forth. Mm-hmm. I took you from there. You want to go back? I'll take you back. But if you ever want to come here, the door is always open. You're the ones that built this place. Mm-hmm. That's the first, like, okay, I'm really interested in showing you that I see I made a mistake.
Right.
If it's just like, you know what, we made so much money now, let's talk about just giving you some to shut you up. So I don't have to listen to you crying about how I owe you this, I owe you that, this belongs to you. If I give you some, you'll shut up, right? You see, that's a big difference. That's like just a business move. Any wise business person gonna say, hey, this been like a boil on my elbow since these people got out of slavery. So exactly. Why not just push them some money and shut them up, and then they can't say anything because we squared it. Mm-hmm. That's just a strategic business move. But if you say, you know what, I made a mistake, I took you away from your place, I'm gonna give you a free way to go back there to build your place like you came and built mine, but to thank you for what you did here and to, you know, wish that you will find it to forgive me, you can come back whenever you want. That's basic. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just like just another perspective that if this was serious about repairing something, mm-hmm. then it would be more along those lines, not about why don't you benefit from how much I benefited from torturing and, you know, enslaving your ancestors. You can benefit too. Mm-hmm.